So when you're designing an object, again, you'll have different views of an object, and these are the three normal, everyday, ordinary views: the top view, the front view, and the side view. Okay. As far as those views, those are having to do with the different sides of the object. What side of the object are you looking at? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to turn away from the camera because I'll have to, if I do it this way, well, I guess it would be the same way, where that's the top view. The top view is where you can kind of see this surface here, this round surface here, is this round edge over here, okay? And the rest of this object is the object line. So these are the surfaces that I can touch. It's this surface here, this bottom surface here is the surface that I can see. This is what the object represents. That's why we call it an object line, okay? Now in this case, now we're gonna introduce that new line type that we talked about. That's your hidden lines. These hidden lines from the top view are representing something. Now in this case, it's not magic. It's going to be kind of weird, but I can actually put my finger through the object. Ooh. Well, it's just that it actually has a hole in it, okay? But the hole is represented by hidden lines on the top view, and these are the edges of the hole, okay? The hole is represented with hidden lines. Let me bring up my little pen marker, because you're going to see that from the top view to the front view, these lines are all orthographically aligned, okay? So these lines, you can kind of see that this edge is orthographically aligned with this edge. This edge here, which is this edge right here of the object, is this edge here and is represented by the hidden line on the front view, okay? So what happens is that when you revolve from the top view, you revolve this way to the front view. So you have to revolve the object in that particular fashion for it to make sense. You can't just simply take the object and say, okay, well, Mr., I'm gonna make this my front view, and I guess this is my right top and left. You can't do that. It has to be revolved a certain way, because if you don't draw it that way, this whole thing just does not make sense. You're going to look at the top, the front, and the right side view. It's just not going to make sense, okay? So we need to be able to revolve the object in that particular fashion. So from the front view, which is what we're seeing here, you can see that the front view, we have a drill hole, that one right there, which is this one, okay? We have a drill hole, and those drill holes are drawn with object lines. Notice the object lines are thicker. And then the object itself, you're going to see just a big, huge rectangle to represent the object, okay? And then on the front view, you also have your hidden line. This is the first time we're talking about hidden lines. The hidden line is going to be this hidden line right in here. So on the front view, what does that hidden line represent? It actually represents a feature. It's back here. It's just that you can't see through this object. So because of the fact that you can't see through the object, that's kind of cool, I can see through there, you can't see the edge, this edge. So from the front view, that's why we call it a hidden line, because you just simply can't see it. Unless you have a superpower, which I really hope you don't, and if you do, let me know, because that's weird. You can't see that hidden object. So it's not until you revolve it to the top view that you can actually see this edge. So it's literally putting all these views together as far as the top, front, and right side view to be able to visualize this whole object. So that's my front view, okay? Now, let me ask you this. Hidden lines is a hidden feature. The object line is the edges of the object. Those are things that you can see, but we also have center lines. We also have center lines, these right in here, okay? Can you physically see the center line? You cannot. It's an imaginary line. You just can't see it. But it represents the center of the drill hole, the center of this drill hole. So the center lines are part of the drawing. You need to show them, but they don't physically exist. You can't see a center line. You can't touch a center line like you can an object line. You can touch the object line, but the center line, you can't touch it. It doesn't exist. It's imaginary. And then how does that right side view look like? So the right side view, again, from the top to the front, and then the right side is revolved away from the front view. So then on the front view, you're going to see this edge here, okay? So this edge is represented like this surface here is actually this surface here, okay? And then this surface here is actually this surface back over here, okay? So that's the right side view. And of course, we still also have hidden lines also to represent the drill hole. So we have hidden lines, which are represented from the top of the drill hole projected straight across. Same thing with the top of the bottom of the drill hole projected straight across for your object line, your hidden lines. Okay. So from this object line, you're going to get these hidden lines. And notice it doesn't go all the way to here because the drill hole only goes from this surface over to this surface. It does not go all the way to this surface. Okay. So that is a quick introduction into what's called orthographic projection. The way you revolve the object is very important. Let me see if I can go over to this one. So right in here, it gives you a quick idea of how these views are revolved, okay? So once again, from the top view, you revolve to the front view, and then you revolve over to the right side view. So most objects can be represented with those three views. Are those the only views that exist? No, there are other views. For some reason or another, maybe there's something on this side that you just can't see on the top, front, and right side. So because of that, you might have to develop a left side view. Doesn't happen very often, but you might need one. Or in some cases, you need a bottom view. Okay, so it's just kind of weird how that works, but you need, just as long as you remember how to revolve. And the way I remember it, it's you kind of start with the front view. It's almost usually like your main view, your front, and then you revolve away from the front. So from the front, if you revolve to the top, from the front view to the right side, or if we needed it from the front view, we can revolve to the bottom view or to the left view. Okay. So that's usually the three normal views that we need for most objects. Not always the case. Matter of fact, the second year students are working on a project right now. One of them said, Mr. I actually need a left side view. Then you do it. You don't have to. Usually you do the top, front, and right side. Everything you're going to do first year students for now will be just those three views. But other than that, it's you revolve those top, front, and right side views. And then we'll do another video to show you how to actually start drawing these in AutoCAD.